You're watching Central Illinois' best source for news and weather.
Tonight, hope to find the remains of the missing U of I scholar, where their search efforts could lead, and the latest from the family attorney. Plus, better training for correctional officers, the effort to prevent further abuses behind bars, and the official start of the Decatur celebration. The food, music, and more waiting for you.
WAND News at 6 starts now.
We ask the defendant to unconditionally tell us what he knows about Ying Ying's location.
It was just last month Ying Ying Zhang's family pleaded for information about where her remains are. Today, word of a possible answer. Thanks for being with us for WAND News at 6. That news came early this morning. WAND's Joe Straussy in the newsroom. Right now, what we know tonight. Joe.
Sean, attorneys for the Zhang family tell us that Ying Ying's remains may be in a landfill in Vermilion County. We got that word confirmed from attorneys who are helping the family this morning. They say they got that information from the U.S. Attorney's Office, who in turn got it during conversations about immunity with Brent Christensen's defense team. During the kidnapping trial, authorities described extensive searches of park dumpsters, wooded areas, and other isolated spots looking for any sign of Ying Ying Zhang. Attorneys had announced a press conference for mid-afternoon today. That was canceled. Again, today we're expecting that, along with additional details, next week. Live in the newsroom, Joe Ostrowski, WAND News.
Also, a developing story to bring you tonight. Police have issued an arrest warrant for a man accused of murdering Shanae Moore. Springfield police now searching for this man, 33-year-old Jovan Torbert. Moore killed back in July 4th on Bryant Lane. She was going to school to be a nurse. If you know where he is, call Springfield police. Governor J.B. Pritzker tells WAND News his administration is reviewing the practice of families giving up guardianship of their own children to obtain student financial aid. Published reports indicate wealthy families give up guardianship to avoid income guidelines for grants and financial assistance. The governor, speaking in Decatur, has asked the Illinois Attorney General to investigate what may be an act of fraud.
If a wealthy family has purposely created, independent guardianship or, independence for their child just to game the system, they should be found out. That fraud should be revealed.
Both education committees of the Illinois House will hold a hearing next Thursday in Chicago on this issue. Recent stories of abuse behind bars by correctional officers has led to a focus on training. WAND's Madison O'Brien reports what's being done to make improvements.
We do have over almost 13,000 staff with 39,000 offenders and 29 facilities. You might have one situation that comes up, but at the end of the day, as a whole, the agency represents very well on a professional level.
Over the past year, employees with the Illinois Department of Corrections have been in the spotlight for claims of sexual assault and abuse.
We start from day one: professionalism, accountability. We believe in transparency.
But at the department's training academy, instructors are working hard to make sure these types of things don't happen.
When the courts, sentence somebody to the Illinois Department of Corrections, we want to make sure we've got staff that are respectful and dedicated, staff that are professional, and staff that are hopefully leading by example.
Every correctional and parole officer in the state has to come to the capital city to learn the ins and outs of the job.
We talk about how diverse our work staff is. We talk about how diverse our incarcerated population is, whether you're from the far areas of the state down in Vienna, Shawnee, or way up north. We all come together. We have to learn to work with others that we're not familiar with.
The Correctional Officer Academy is a 6-week program where cadets train 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. 6, 7. Cadets here go through a range of curriculum and learn how to work as a team to meet their goals.
Cadets at the academy learn how to do defense techniques, security restraints, and even search procedures where they look for weapons made by real prisoners.
Some just want to serve their community.
Everyone sees the police and they typically get the glory when, they arrest someone, but we're the people that keep the bad people in check, and make sure that if they are released, they're rehabilitated and not going to be a hazard to the public again.
While others have dreamed of the job their entire life.
I've been a fan of law enforcement ever since I was a little kid. Leave the bad stuff at the gate whenever you get there and leave the bad stuff at the gate whenever you come back.
Preaching professionalism and respect to ensure the department has the best staff possible.
We're out here trying to build the best that we can. We're also trying to bring people up and get more out of them than what maybe they originally expected out of themselves.
In Springfield, Madison O'Brien, WAND News.
Now, first weather from Storm Center 17, home of the exclusive Miles Storm Runner Equinox.
It's been typical summer weather on this Friday, the second day of August. Beautiful temperatures in the 80s and looking really nice heading into the weekend for your Decatur celebration or any other outdoor activities. Live Roto-Rooter plumbing camera right now showing just a few little puffy cumulus clouds. Lake Decatur, maybe a little ripple on there with a light easterly breeze. Otherwise, lots of sunshine and it's warm. Pretty typical for the early part of August. 84 Decatur and Springfield. Champaign, you're at 83. 80 in Watsika, 84 in Vandalia, and Effingham, you're at 85 degrees. Winds coming in out of the east-northeast at around 6 to 12 miles per hour, driving in some of that drier air as we have high pressure off to the north. Satellite and radar not picking up on the cumulus clouds, but aside from that, things are looking really quiet heading into this evening. Partly sunny at 7, 82 down to 75 at 9, mostly clear. Upper 60s through 11 and midnight 67 degrees. We're going to warm it up even more through the weekend and maybe some rain chances next week. I'll break it down coming up in just a little bit.
It is a great night to kick off the Decatur celebration in its 34th year. Right now, our very own Don Sterling is at the Decatur celebration to host the opening ceremonies. And Darren Mullins there too. Darren?
Sean, we're having a great time out here. The celebration is getting kicked off behind me as we speak right now. They're actually singing the national anthem. I'll step out of the shot here so you guys can see what's going on around here. Opening ceremony started just moments ago, featuring again our own Don Sterling, helping kick things off as everyone parties on this year at the Decatur celebration. Head East will take the headline stage tonight at 9, and All for One will also be playing tonight at 9. So all kinds of great acts you're not going to want to miss. Plus, tons of other acts, vendors, food, you name it, they have it out here at the celebration. Wristbands are $15 at the gate. Celebration closes at 11 tonight. Of course, tomorrow you've got the parade. You've got the Celebration Carnival opening up at 11. You've got a hot dog eating competition at 3 featuring our own Karen Eisert and Mark Pearson. So all kinds of fun throughout the entire weekend. You are not going to want to miss it. Of course, coming up tonight at 10, we'll have more celebration coverage, including you can hear from some of the artists out here who say the celebration gives them a once-in-a-lifetime chance to showcase their passion. Live in Decatur, Darren Mullen, WAND News.
Still ahead tonight on WAND News at 6. Very dry conditions out there. Went from record rain to now maybe drought conditions. How to cope with it in your green spaces.
Central Illinois' best source for news and weather.
Today, the Ameren Emergency Operations Center opened its doors to show you how they prepare for severe weather in Central Illinois. It is the nerve center for storm preparations and response across Macon County. Shown here is the storm trailer, a mobile dispensary for linemen and other responders.
Right here you'll see the coordination of crews to different areas as where the damage has occurred. You'll see folks coordinating meals and lodging for linemen and gas folks that come in and help us out in these situations. Everything that really happens out in the areas is coordinated through here with local work teams, keeping very close to communication on what needs to happen.
Each person, he says, on the team has a very specific role, and they are always prepared to make sure the station can be manned 24/7. Green thumbs don't get a summer vacation. Now that they're into some very dry conditions, gardeners have to be on their game to keep their plants healthy. WAND's Lacey Clifton has some ways to give you the leg up.
Conditions in Central Illinois went from soggy to dry in a matter of weeks, and now some plants are feeling it.
When they start to curl their leaves, that means that they're dry and they're hot, and they're kind of protecting the moisture that they have. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're too stressed yet, but You kind of have to watch the plant color and really observe your garden.
Whether it's your flower garden or your vegetable garden, the experts here at Wren's Gate say that it's important that you give your plants a little extra TLC when it comes to the drier parts of the year.
You do need to be watering your vegetables and watering your flowers if you want them to survive this longer stretch without rain.
As for some plants in your vegetable garden, owner of Wren's Gate Garden and Studio, Becky Newton, says some vegetables may be looking rough because they're out of season.
This is the time of year where things start to come out of the garden and you're planting your fall garden and your fall crops. So if things are done, they're done.
Newton shares many homeowners are also dealing with brown lawns. She says don't sweat the grass's appearance.
It's fine to let your lawn go dormant. It will come back when it starts raining again this fall.
Newton adds that if you'll be watering any plants, 1 inch of water a week is a good rule of thumb. Indicator, Lacey Clifton, WAND News.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One extreme to the other.
Absolutely. You know, the farmers couldn't get in the fields in the spring because we were just inundated, waterlogged, and now, boom, it's really dry.
Kind of knew that might happen.
Yeah, just don't leave that water running. You know, just water your plants and then make sure everything's off.
Very good advice because we all want that nice garden and lawn. And
we do.
We got a lot going on this weekend, so it's 3-degree guarantee time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so far, so good. Forecast high today was 84, and the actual high so far is 86. So that means a green check mark, and now $100 to Eagles Airy 507. Almanac for today, our low was 64, high of 86, just 1 degree off from the average of 87 and 65. 103, the record high back in 1901. Sunsets at 8:08. Beautiful weekend on the way. It's going to warm up, but how about that rain? There are some chances next week. I'll talk about it after the break. We're heading into the weekend on a beautiful note. Weather-wise, you may have some plans on the boat, on the lake, what have you, around the pool. And, of course, we're getting going here with all the activity in downtown Decatur with the Decatur celebration. You can see everybody milling around, setting up their booths, and we've got a stage out there near Milliken. So a lot going on, and it's going to be a really nice weekend cooperating weather-wise for the Decatur celebration and any activities you have outdoors. Here's our Warrensburg camera right now showing a lot of blue skies, just a few cumulus clouds earlier on, but otherwise things will be clearing out as we go through the evening hours, looking really nice. So if you are heading to downtown Decatur for the celebration at 7, looking at 82, mostly sunny, 75 at 9. Light winds out of the east-northeast, and by 11, right around 69 degrees. Current temperature still really warm. Decatur and Springfield at 84, Champaign 83, Mattoon at 84, with Taylorville and Effingham both checking in with 85 degrees. Weather headlines, it's going to be a dry and warm weekend. Make sure you pack the sunscreen, make sure you have plenty of water, and stay hydrated. We have slight rain chances coming in next week. I'll break that down in just a little bit, and it will be a little cooler as we head into the middle part of next week. As far as the humidity, it was comfortable. Now we're heading into kind of that muggy range. So we'll be between comfortable and humid as we go through tonight and tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, pretty much in the comfy range at dew points into the upper 50s. But then as we head into tomorrow night, maybe more in the way of humidity. So it will flip back and forth. And on Sunday, it will be a little muggier. Satellite and radar not showing too much going on right now. We're seeing a few of those cumulus clouds. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly clear skies thanks to high pressure to the north. This high was over here last night, and now it's beginning to drift to the west. We have an easterly flow around that high, pumping in that dry air and keeping any kind of clouds or storminess off to our west, and that's going to be the case through this upcoming weekend. So we have high pressure to our north on Precision Cast this evening, and then moving into Saturday, it starts to slowly drift to the west. You can see it just continues to clear the skies out as this ridge will continue to press into areas of Iowa by Saturday evening. And then as we move into Sunday morning, it's pretty much right over the top of Iowa, and then it starts to drop off to the south towards Missouri, keeping us nice and quiet. Now, about that rain, the European model has some showers, believe it or not, across Iowa and Wisconsin as we move into the latter part of Monday. As we're watching a cold front sliding in now, does not look like a lot of moisture with this system on Tuesday. Kind of a broken line of showers Tuesday, and then we get a break Wednesday. Maybe a more important system bringing more rain on Thursday. So hopefully some measurable rain with that system. In any case, we have a lot of hot air across the Central Plains. It's warm to hot over the top of us. The intense heat stays to our southwest through the weekend into early next week. But here's another little push of slightly cooler and drier air as we head into the middle part of next week. So that'll be nice. As far as our temperatures, 86 Saturday, 88 Sunday, 89 Monday, and then it does cool back into the lower 80s by Thursday with a high of 83. For tonight, mostly clear and pleasant, the low around 61 degrees. For your Saturday, 63 early on. By lunchtime, 83, partly sunny. By 5, 86 and partly sunny skies. Pack that sunscreen. UV forecast for Saturday is an 8. Very high burn time at 15 minutes. St. Mary's Hospital 7-day forecast, mostly sunny through Monday. That stray storm on Tuesday, 86. Better chance of scattered showers and storms Thursday, and high of 83. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Topper's Take on location here at Illini Training Camp. Day 1 in the books. We just watched about 60, 75 minutes of live scrimmaging here. What was the number one takeaway that you had from today?
Well, I wanted to see the quarterbacks, and Brandon Peters, the transfer from Michigan, is an impressive kid. He's a big kid, 6'5", can really throw it. I mean, he's got a tight, hard throw. And the other thing about him is, and I'm pleased to see this, he's more mobile than I thought. He can move and run out of trouble. And that was a good thing. And then Isaiah Williams was, he made some freshman mistakes, but he's got a pretty nice arm. And when he tucks the ball, it goes. Anything can happen because that guy's got some crazy wiggle, man.
I mean, we've got some amazing video from out here today, this afternoon, of him taking a step, and it's just like he disappears and he reappears 2 feet to the left. I mean, he's that quick. It looks like he's jumping all over the field, like apparating in different parts of the field.
It's going to be a fun battle. Talking to Rod Smith, the offensive coordinator, he said, this is going to be a battle, and it might go down to the very end, and there's going to be growing pains. And he says, I don't care about the growing pains, just show me the baby. And, by the time August 31st rolls around, they'll have a starter. And I'm not convinced that both of them won't play. And I have to say, Matt Robinson and Coran Taylor had their moments today, too. Mm-hmm. And the transfers look good. It was a successful first day, no injuries to report. Mm-hmm. And Lovey running the defense, I saw a more vocal, engaged Lovey Smith than a year ago when Hardy Nickerson was still the defensive coordinator.
Interesting. Well, Mark, we're looking forward to having many, many more observations here as they put the pads on in a couple days, and we get a little bit more 11-on-11 live action. So thanks so much for joining us here live on location in Champaign.
Good deal.
The play of the day on WAND is brought to you by Menards.
Well, let's send it just down the road to Charleston because there are 2 other D1 teams having a big day, including Eastern Illinois. Adam Cushing area formally begins, came over from Northwestern, and this camp's about things that are a lot bigger than just one position, laying the foundation with a ton of new faces, a new offensive scheme, and a new culture. But they also got to pick a quarterback from a list of 4. Last year was primarily about Tulane transfer, Jonathan Brantley, and JUCO transfer, Harry Woodbury. They had almost identical stats. But don't forget about big Scotty Gilkey, who is a house to bring down, an incredibly vocal leader, and not to mention speedster Jalen Banks, who's entering his redshirt sophomore year. A tough task to pick from these 4.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you want to talk about the best problem in history for a quarterback. It's having quarterbacks with experience, and certainly more than one is going to give you the opportunity to really have a great quarterback manages the offense. It doesn't have to have the biggest arm or the most athletic guy. It doesn't have to be that guy. It has to be the guy that moves the offense from point A to point B. And so when you got multiple guys that have done it, it's pretty exciting.
So much more coming your way tonight in the Friday Friends, including a check-in with this guy, one of our favorite former stars, Springfield's very own Nick Broker, who's settling in at Ole Miss. We'll be right back.
John, a great evening for the Decatur celebration. We are looking at temperatures falling from the 80s into the 70s. Really nice.
Lovely. Have an enjoyable time. We'll see you at 10.